Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first live stream on Shade Shadow. I'm joined tonight by several friends and acquaintances. Ghosts of Alexandria, say hello.
Hi.
Cowboy 1878.
What's up, guys?
Priority Pod.
Yo.
We have the Gentleman Toaster here as well.
I'm present.
And Armageddon Knight.
Hello and welcome.
I have put all their links down in the description down below. I'm not really sure where to go with this. We decided just to do kind of an open thing. We've been BSing now for the last few hours before we even attempted a live stream. Pod, do you want to put a link in the chat in the Discord chat and in the YouTube chat or whatever for Discord?
I currently can't even find it on your channel. Something is up here.
Something is up. Why does that not surprise me?
No, I've refreshed it. It's your home tab on YouTube.
Still listed as private.
It is listed as private. I have it as unlisted. You're right. Let's do it as public here.
Oh boy.
Look, you're the one that suggested I do it as unlisted, as I recall, Ghost.
Well, I didn't mean now.
Well, that's good to know.
He forgot to mention you should relist it.
I know that it's hard to tell, but this is my first time. Be gentle.
Oh yes.
Well, it's going great so far, Henry.
Are we actually live? It would appear that we are possibly
Yes,
live.
you are actually live now.
Holy hell! Something went right.
Yeah.
I could repeat the whole introduction thing, but I think it's kind of lost its vim and vinegar.
Lost its charm.
If you got the stream up to archive, people who watch it will just see it.
Yeah, it'll still be there.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Everyone watching it live, well, for them.
No need to.
No, the DVR feature. You can go back up to 4 hours, I believe.
The DVR,
Yeah.
the DVR feature. I can skip past all those pesky commercials.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So I would like to thank all of you for joining me this evening. I've streamed with most of you, actually, if not all of you, at some point in time or another on various channels of y'all's. Pod. Anyway, I'm really thankful that y'all decided to come over here. Priority Pod does a politics and current events channel mostly. And he was the one that kind of got me started into all this mess. Do you want to go into a little bit more about your channel?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm trying to open a beer with a lighter here, and I don't know how to do it.
Oh, I see. Experimentation is the key.
If you had man hands, you could just grab the top and twist a little bit.
I almost just broke my back.
If it makes you
Yes,
feel
I
any
have
better,
that,
you know, I'm drinking too, and I don't have that problem.
You guys ever had that Smirnoff Ice stuff? That's really good.
I was not a fan of that.
No, I just haven't actually popped a beer with a lighter in a long time.
No, it's just basically like Sprite with like I think it's like 6% Smirnoff.
I was more a fan of Stoli's. Stolichny had a better. I thought it tasted better.
Wiki how? Let's get a picture guide of this.
A picture guide of what? International wine coolers?
No, exactly how to open a beer with a lighter.
Oh, how to open a beer with a lighter.
I feel like there's a certain level, and I think you're going over it.
You see, being from Texas, you're trained to do that before you walk.
This is not a.
Well, see, being a Yankee,
Accurate
we're trained to
statement.
drink real beer.
Well, now see, in the north, I can tell you how they do it in the north. What they do is they hold the bottle by the neck, and they take the lighter and they light it, and they place the flame around the bottom of the beer. When enough pressure builds, you've just been uncapped.
Kaboom.
You know how Antifa does it.
Yeah, they stick a little bit of cloth out the side, light it, and throw it through a window.
They have to light it first.
That's what I said.
Well, the smarter ones light it first, anyway.
It's a priority. You didn't want to introduce your.
Yeah, for some reason he didn't want to introduce his channel. He's being shy tonight while he's trying to drink. Either that or he's really focused on getting the bottle open.
I'm really focused on getting the bottle open. Also, I'm
Yeah.
already famous enough. You know.
How many subs you got?
Oh, me? I have 4. I have 4 whole subs.
You got
Oh wow. I think it's 5
Oh,
now.
5 now. Holy hell. I'm moving up in the
now
world.
you're really
Oh, you're
popular.
getting famous.
That YouTube famous. Ghetto fabulous.
Now you just gotta add Gone Sectional in the title, or is that late now? Is that no longer a thing?
Be right back.
Which one?
The
Gone
whole
Sexual.
like Gone Sexual.
Oh, Gone Sexual. I didn't realize that. It's like if that's in my title, we have a bigger problem than I thought.
I mean, you never know.
This is true. This is true. Hey, Alex, Ghost of Alexandria also has a channel, and I know he dabbles in all kinds of stuff. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about your channel as well?
I'd love to, because I'm currently not trying to use a lighter to explode a beer.
Is this just gonna be this stream? Everyone's gonna try to do that now.
No,
Yes.
my beer's already open. I'm drinking it.
I don't drink. Because I'm
Uh,
a good and loving Christian Jew.
God.
You go to that good and loving Christian website, Pornhub.com.
Yes.
Get off my Jewish ass.
Where you can, where you
There was a
learn.
problem. There was a problem because everyone kept leaving in the comments on Pornhub. Why is this allowed on this good Christian website? It became such a meme. And mods started banning people for putting that in.
Well, you know they do teach. They do teach family values. There's a lot of the father daughter, mother son stuff on there, brother sister. So they do teach family values.
So anyway, guys,
So I hear.
I got a channel. It has a couple subs. Really happy about it over here. You know, I mostly do political commentary and just commentary about ideas in general. You know,
Even ideas about commentary.
even ideas about commentary, ideas about streams that I could do that I haven't done yet. You know, everything's been covered on this channel.
Have you done that?
Yeah, I actually have done that on a stream. I listed a bunch of videos that I was going to plan to do the next week, and it just never happened. Because,
Yeah, I remember. I remember that.
yeah, you do. Oh boy. You know, I was planning to do some streams and some videos these past 3 weeks. I've been off for a while, but Hurricane Harvey, you know,
Yeah,
slapped
so-
around Houston. It's been great.
How did
That's
Houston?
What I like to hear. We deal with hurricanes totally different. Unlike New Orleans, we embrace a hurricane and we ski down the streets.
Yeah, you know why? We all know why New Orleans costs so much money to fix up. Because everyone goes in and looting, breaking all the windows, and doing all that crap.
We didn't have that problem in Texas.
I'm gonna say no comment because I have several things that I could have said to that I'm not.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
YouTube.
that.
That'll shut him up.
I think just saying no comment has now basically told everyone what you were thinking.
Yeah, but that's
You didn't tell
okay.
me I couldn't say no comment.
Well, no, look at it this way. So far, I don't think any channel's been taken down by YouTube for a comment of no comment.
Exactly. Loophole.
This is true.
Baby. Loophole.
I vote for a vote of no confidence.
You can infer whatever you like. Shut up with the Star Wars reference. you can infer.
You denied the wallet, boss.
You can infer what you like from the statement of no comment.
Oh my god.
However, you know what? He has exercised his Fifth Amendment right, guaranteed under the Constitution to every citizen of the United States.
I like how you have to specialize
Amen,
that
brother.
bit.
Preach.
Well, I've actually started saying I plead the fifth instead of no comment, so people can look at me like, "What? Which one is
Pretty
that?"
smart.
Oh yeah, that one.
They must have been from New Orleans.
Yep.
Now,
Or California.
Once again, no comment.
Gentleman Toaster.
Yeah.
We've chatted a little bit, and I think I've been involved in one live stream with you. I believe it was on Alex's channel,
Might have done.
which is very possible.
Hey.
You have a channel also. What kind of stuff do you do on your channel? I haven't had a chance to check it out yet.
Probably around the same stuff Alex does. It's just like political stuff. I really haven't made anything on it yet because I'm lazy and procrastinating is really easy to do.
Alex makes political stuff.
I got a slew of really good ideas though. I got the idea of the strange ecosystem under Trump's tweets, which is actually one that I was working on until Irmo started interrupting me. And then I've got is YouTube trended really trended, which is like I'm gonna run the maths of whether or not the videos in YouTube trending actually are the most popular videos on YouTube and all that junk. So
Sounds actually pretty interesting.
It does.
You, as I've said before at the beginning of this, I do have links to everyone's channel down below. I'll go and check that out here this weekend as well. I'd like to see some of the stuff that you've done.
I'm not there yet.
Nah, it's all good. If there's nothing there, then I guess there won't be much to see. It'll be a short trip. Cowboy 1878 is a good friend of mine. We've hung out quite a bit in real life and outside of real life. What kind of stuff do you want to do on your channel? I know you don't really have a whole lot up right now.
I was looking at wanting to do pretty much game streaming, bringing out the stuff that we do, like for example on Warframe, Destiny's 2's coming out, all the different games that we play and the different stuff we do on there, and post to try to perk people's interest in it and kind of promote the game through as well.
That's something I'm looking forward to, and of course I get to help make those because I'll be in a lot of those. More than likely, we'll get to see it from both you guys. For anybody subscribed that wants to look, you'll be able to see it from two different camera angles because I'll probably be streaming a lot of the same things that he is at the same time.
But I want to bring an aspect to the streaming on gaming so people can see the fun in it. Versus like the how-to-dos or how to build and stuff like that. I want people to see actual gameplay, stuff that will perk their interest in playing.
A lot
I
of
did that shit for years.
oh, go ahead.
So I did that kind of shit for years.
Most of
It's
So
not
what
that
I
interests
really
me.
needed both guides, so I would just like, yeah, here's my gameplay. Here's me talking over it.
most of what I see anymore is it's like you say, it's how-tos and guides for this, that, or the other. Very rarely do you see anyone just playing.
Which, don't get me wrong, those are useful and they're good tools when you're gaming, but also I don't think people look at that kind of stuff to see if they want to play a game. Because one thing I do when I have an interest in a game before I buy it is I go try to find gameplay so I can see what it looks like before I spend the money on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, I've been disappointed by many games I forgot to check out.
I've
Speaking,
gotten so good at that, I would say that I basically can tell if I can like a game from like 5 minutes gameplay.
you know, it's funny. I've noticed in the last few years, and I think it's in part as much a fault of the player as it is the publisher. More and more games are getting released half finished.
Oh, yeah.
Or partially finished, and then they use the player as a beta tester to finish the game through DLC and
Yeah.
updates. And
Hey, Battlefield 4 worked great on launch.
yeah, after about the first 100 patches,
Yeah, about 6 months after launch. That's about the first time I played.
yeah,
I bought it on day one, and then I didn't play it for 6 months.
That day one.
Battlefield 1 kind of worked when it first came out.
kind of.
Yeah, Battlefield 1 actually did pretty okay. I think EA realized they were fucking up by releasing half-baked games every year.
No, I don't think that was it. I think it was that EA actually let DICE do something interesting rather than just having them shell out another modern-day Battlefield.
The only
Yeah, I
trouble
wish
I've
DICE
had
would go
with
independent.
Having
DICE
creative
would be a
freedom.
great independent studio.
the only trouble I've had with the Battlefield games, is EA's got real bad problems with their servers, with having server issues.
Man, you don't remember Operation Gamebreaker?
No.
Uh-huh.
Where all the servers, day one, would try to load up Dawnbreaker, and it would just crash the game. It was you could not load that map. I'm not sure if that was cross-platform. I only had it on the Xbox at the time, but if you tried to open it up on the Xbox, at least, you opened up Dawnbreaker, the game would crash.
From what I understood when I got in contact with them about it, because I had spent $60 on the game and I was royally pissed because I couldn't play.
Mhm.
And so I got in contact with them. What they said is because of the release of the game and everybody trying to load it at the same time, it's overloaded the servers to the point that the servers were crashing.
Now, see, this is a problem I have.
At
Because
least Battlefield has single player for that, though. Like, have you seen what was it, SimCity 2015 or 2014?
Oh yeah.
Where it was online only and no one could play day one, and
Well,
then
see,
EA
this-
was banning Origin accounts for requesting a refund.
this is becoming an all too common issue, though. They know, they start putting out the hype a couple of years ahead of time, and they keep building up the hype and building up the hype. And
Next year in development.
most of their games, well, most of the games that are released anymore focus solely on the multiplayer aspect of the game, which I think is ridiculous. There's go ahead.
I just want to quickly say I'm going to give massive credit to Bethesda because I think they're one of the last couple developers who actually make really good single player.
Bethesda,
Yeah,
Bethesda.
but then they licensed out online with ESO, and that kind of sucked.
Well, yeah, no, but that's exactly the point. I'm really excited for that new Wolfenstein game.
Bethesda, or they're great storytellers. I don't care what game it's been. Every game I've ever played by Bethesda, and I've been playing with them for years. They have an excellent storyline. There's so many little references and innuendo to pop culture, not just from the current decade, but from decades past. Stuff that someone my age can actually pick up, which is kind of nice to see. The only problem I've ever had with Bethesda games is that they're glitchy as hell, and they never want to patch them. And if they do patch them, they'll patch like Canada's version, or they'll patch Germany's version, but they won't patch something for the United States unless it's a major issue that affects everybody's gameplay, and they just can't play it. But
All we gotta do is
glitches,
apologize more often. That's all Germany and Canada ever do.
no, that's true too.
If we just apologize to Bethesda for buying their broken game, then maybe they would patch it.
Oh, I never thought about taking that tact. That might be something different than getting upset about it.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry that I bought your broken game.
Oh, well, let's fix that
I
for you.
sincerely apologize for the inconvenience to you.
You know what's another thing that you see a lot more of nowadays?
What's
Is
that?
those kind of like grindy games. You know, the ones where it's like already exists, free to play, but you gotta like pay to progress kind of thing going on. Kinda
Yes.
like Warframe and stuff like that.
Actually, I'm going to correct you on that one. Warframe is not like that. It's one of the few. It is one of the few MMO style games that isn't pay to win or pay to play. Everything in the game, you can actually grind and get just about every weapon, every frame, every. You can get just about anything
Yeah.
you want through just grinding a little bit. It's not
I
a pay to
know,
win.
but isn't it true that you can pay money to get that stuff quicker?
You
Yeah,
can
but
pay
it's
to
not
get.
mandatory.
Yeah, no,
optional.
that's what I meant. That's what I meant. I didn't mean like you have to pay in order to continue playing. I meant that
Yeah.
you can pay money to make the game easier.
Yes, you
Yes,
can pay to
you
make it
can.
easier, but the differing point, and the only reason it kind of hits me close. I've been playing the game for about 5 years. It's one of the more favorite games for me.
I played 87 days.
I've got almost 2,000 hours clocked on it in 5 years, which is nothing compared to some. But the major difference between that one and some of these other MMOs I've played, these other MMOs you kind of peak at a certain level unless you pay. RuneScape is a lot like that. You can't level most of your skills unless you pay them money so that you can level your skills. You have to pay to get the membership in order to advance. There's other
but not even
games.
just pay to play. Like, just you see these kind of like grindy games, right? And the developers just don't fix problems like all those like what is it, the Overwatch and all that kind of stuff. There's always these problems, and they hardly fix them for a while. I mean, I play War Thunder. I don't know if you're aware of that game, and it's
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
got really major issues with that, with the developers not fixing things or adding things in that are obviously broken and stuff like that.
Honestly,
the thing with Overwatch is they're too busy patching in political correctness. So one girl's butt is too big, so they got to get rid of the skin where she's got a big butt.
some of
And
these.
that's the one thing I do enjoy about War Thunder is there's no politically correct way to patch a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was noticing a few things with War Thunder that, it's frustrating. I don't really like PvP that much because I suck at
But
it.
it's a different kind of PvP. That's
It
what
is.
I like.
It is. It is a different kind of PvP. I was actually kind of enjoying it as long as I was playing with people I knew. But
That's a lot of MMOs though. They're fun if you know the people you're playing with, but if you don't know the people you're playing with, they're just boring ass grind.
that, or you end up with a bunch of morons that don't know how to play in the first place, and you may be one of those morons.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When you're playing with friends, you're probably playing with a bunch of morons.
Yeah,
But at
true.
least you can enjoy playing with a bunch of morons who don't know how to play.
Fair enough.
That is very true.
But yeah, one of the things I was. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's fine.
I was going to say the one thing I've noticed though is that there's certain games that I've found myself enjoying more that are free to play than actual games I've bought,
Yeah, I agree.
which says a hell of a lot when it comes to game development. I've pretty much sworn off Battlefield and Call of Duty. Call of Duty were terrible games anyway, but most people I knew played those games.
I swore off COD, but I can still play Battlefield.
Yeah, I'm playing Battlefield.
I was
right
going to
now.
swear off Battlefield if Battlefield 5 came out. That was going to be my thing. Like, if they're just going to release another Modern War game, I'm not going to buy it. And I didn't even realize that the Battlefield 1 announcement was like 3 days away. That's how out of the loop I was. And then I watched the announcement. I was like, okay, I'm going to buy that.
Yeah, Battlefield has been I don't know. I enjoyed 3. 3 was really good. In fact, everything up to 3 was pretty good.
Bad Company 2 was my favorite.
Bad Company
Battlefield
2 was
was my
pretty
favorite.
awesome.
AIX,
What-
that was amazing.
Let me put some input here. What makes me mad about those games is not the player versus player aspect. It's the fact that when you got players that aren't actually playing the game, you don't have any way to kick them or boot them. That's what makes me mad.
That's a fair point.
I can do because I'm not that great at those games. I get my ass kicked, I'm not gonna lie. But I would much rather play a game and I can enjoy a game like that without the people running it.
Hey, Digital Extremes, if you're watching for whatever fucked up reason, if anyone from Digital Extremes is watching this, take a hint. Give us a way to kick motherfuckers out of a damn party. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna be able to hear that, Henry. Oh,
That's
The
just-
odds are in your favor.
Yeah, you know, 5 whole people on Earth are watching this stream.
Yeah, it's the 5 people
I'm assuming That
participating.
would be 5 of the 6 of us in here.
Yeah.
That's why when I stream games, when when I stream games, I'm always like, oh, 3 people are watching, and I realize all 3 of them are playing the game with me.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite is, oh, cool, somebody's here. Wait, that's me watching my own stream.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's 2. Somebody else is here. Thank God.
Hey,
Hello.
if you can't promote yourself, who's going to?
I've always noticed.
All in all, with those games, I can't bash them for the gameplay. I can't bash them for the design they did for the multiplayer. I think they've made a great game. I think it is fun to play, but like I said, the part that runs it is people who don't play the game properly. And
That's why games like that need a single player option, where you can just play the same game mode but against AI.
They actually recently in War Thunder they have added PvE. It's pretty bad, but if you really don't want to deal with dumb players, you can do it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
See,
Yeah,
that's
it's,
why I enjoy older games like Battlefield 2, because you could play the exact Battlefield multiplayer, but you could just play it against AI. And
but
it
are
was
you
way
able
more
to
fun.
actually to co-op with other
Yeah.
members?
You
See
can do that. I did that in Battlefield 1942 a lot. As I would host a server and you could have as many AI in there as you wanted. You just
I'll
break
tell you
those
what.
guys
I'll
up.
tell you what's the hidden gem in the Battlefield series. Battlefield 1943. Oh god, so many hours in that game.
I'll try the original. Assuming your eyes don't bleed because the graphics are awful.
I played 1942, but just 1943 was so fun just because it was so simple.
The old
You
Medal
get
of
3
Honor
classes,
games.
3 maps, and it's the same. Like I think it's like 3 vehicles.
Speaking of the World War II version games, what do y'all think about that new Call of Duty?
I think it's
They're
SJW
trying to do a
garbage.
sequel to Battlefield 1 and they're gonna fail.
I think it's SJW garbage. I hate it. I'm fine if you want to bend history a little bit, but when you make a whole like 5-minute video at the announcement saying we spent so much time studying this and that and it's gonna be so accurate, and then I watch the trailer and I can point out how your Tiger 2 shouldn't have a stabilizer or how this is wrong and this is wrong, and then I start to hear all the SJW crap where there's gonna be black female Nazis. Yeah, that's definitely. But as soon as I start to see all that,
Wait.
Seriously?
Comment.
I'm just
Wow.
gonna, no. All right.
Black
I'm
female
fine.
Nazi?
I'm fine. You want to do that, but do not brag about being historically accurate.
Hey guys, let me tell you how
You get one or the other.
See, I was fine with Battlefield 1 having black people in it because there were black units in World War 1.
So
Yeah.
But black female Nazis?
now I have just one question on that. Who actually sets fire or gasses the Jews? Is it the black female Nazis or is it the white Nazis?
Yeah, when are we going to get our Jewish Nazis?
Once again, no comment.
We don't need Nazis.
I'll tell you what the worst thing about being a black Jew is. You gotta sit in the back of the gas chamber.
That's harsh.
No, see, they put you in the front of the chamber, right next to the first guy, so they can compare when they're done.
All right, guys. All right, look, man. I don't want to get this demonetized before I get started.
They even have this video monetized in the first place.
He
No.
can't even
Well, they can get the strikes before then.
No, but I have hope later.
Monetized already.
There may be hope later. At the very least, don't get me banned before I get started. Shit.
He has too many shekels.
I can't
come on,
believe
Henry,
y'all
we
are
can always
sitting
do
there saying
everything.
that stuff, and I'm having to sit here and say no comment. That's freaking ridiculous. I hope
Yeah.
y'all know that.
Yeah.
Oh crap!
I had so much stuff I could say, and I can't say it, and then y'all input that. It just does nothing but depress me.
Let's try to keep it somewhat clean. Somewhat.
Anyway, getting back on proper topic now.
So if you know any clean Jew jokes.
Okay.
No, that was a joke.
Well, that comment went into ashes.
Oh
Wait,
no,
wait,
guys,
sorry,
you're
no
offending the
comment.
land of
No
Zion.
comment.
Would that be considered a burn?
Don't incinerate their hope.
Oh no!
No comment. I mean, sorry.
Okay. Armageddon. Armageddon Night, I've known for quite some time as well, for about the last 8 years or so. You have a channel as well. What kinds of stuff do you do on your channel?
Primarily gaming, but I will be starting tech reviews and other tech stuff here probably in the next couple of months. My primary games right now are Kerbal Space Program, Skyrim, and Fallout New Vegas. I'm trying to get some Pug in there, but I don't know. I'm not very good at that game at the moment. My first stream, I played for about an hour. I did about 20 matches, and I got 3 kills.
Speaking of matches, that joke is just wrong.
Yeah, that's why I texted it to you first.
Yeah.
You were like,
So-
I need one.
Sorry, guys. He texted me a joke.
You can tell it if you want, but...
No. I think I'll wait till
No.
after the stream is
Oh,
over
man,
for
if
that.
I can't do it, you can't do it.
I said after the stream, and he texted me.
It's good either way. But yeah, I plan on doing some how-tos for certain games, like how to better lockpick in most of your games. I'm also going to be doing some, like how to clean your computer, because I currently have a very dirty video card, and I will be doing a disassembly and reassemble to that. So it's a little bit of gaming, a little bit of tech.
As a suggestion, what I usually do with mine, I just make sure that I currently have no electricity in the passing through any of the circuits, and then I just dip it in the shower.
That's great with you. You just leave it plugged in and go take a shower with it while you're at it.
Well, the fail-safe in the circuitry would prevent me from getting electrocuted that way. But
True.
But on a side note, it does come out squeaky clean, and as long as you wait until it dries completely, you should be okay.
Don't be in a big tub of mineral oil.
Hey, y'all want to know how to do a global reset on a toaster?
Hey, don't be making jokes about me.
So you plug it into the wall, and then you push a little lever down, and then you take a butter knife and you arc it between one side to the other, and it will completely global reset for you.
I was going to say, gentlemen might take
See,
offense
as
to
a
that.
toaster, I find that joke insulting.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say shove your thumb in his butt and see what happens.
They do.
I didn't even pick up that his name was Gentleman Toaster until I said that. That's awesome.
You know, for someone that hasn't been drinking, have you been drinking?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm at about 9.
Okay.
You know the best part, though, right? Was his cousin was the toaster we sent to Mars.
Ouch.
No, his cousin was in a 1991 film called The Magic Toaster.
I like how
wasn't
you know
the brave
the
little
exact
toaster
year
we
that
sent to
came
Mars?
out.
Yeah.
I love the brave little toaster. He sacrificed himself for all the Jews.
You know, I don't recognize the brave little toaster.
That story, that movie was very weird. Watching it as an adult.
You know, the only toaster, this is going to be a bit before Olio's time, but the only toaster I really remember in any kind of animation, Windows 3.1, or maybe it was Windows 95, had this program called After Dark, and it had these flying toasters.
Jesus helped him invent it.
What? Jesus helped me invent it?
Windows 3 or 95. That was back in Jesus' time.
Hey, I actually started on Win95.
Actually, Windows 3 is before 95.
Yeah, Windows 3 was before 95. I just can't remember.
95.
I can't remember if the flying toaster was the screensaver for 3.1 or if it was for 95. I don't remember. It was an After Dark thing. Many years ago. It was an army of flying toasters.
Well,
Gentlemen would have been proud.
I need to find that now. That's going to be my new desktop.
Hang on. I bet you I can find it for you. I'm good at finding crap like that.
An army of flying toasters.
Yes, I kid you not.
What?
I love how I make a joke about a toaster, and now we're off on this whole subject. It just
Yeah, that
shows
is-
how ADD our minds are, just so we all know.
What is
Yes.
your favorite toaster, boy? Mine is the toaster oven.
Mine's the Scion XBs. They look like cute little toasters.
Oh,
My favorite toaster is anything made by Razer.
okay.
Throwing a little bit of shade there.
I'll just, I'll have to.
You're throwing more shade than my ebony chainmail. Chillax.
Why's it got to be black?
Because
No
it's guy-
comment, no comment, no comment.
Well, you know, dangers are evil, and well, you know, evil is shadowy and mysterious.
Not
Oh.
even Danger.
No
He
comment.
even is daydreaming.
No comment.
Man, you're just full of
Don't
those no
just say that
comments.
the rest of the stream.
There you go. It was
I'm not
something.
supposed to
His
stay silent on this,
catchphrase.
His
Well-
catchphrase is no to the comment.
He's faster than speed, quicker than light. He is no comment man.
Let's see. I'm not exactly sure if I can put this in the comments or not. Will it show up?
Yeah, it'll show up in about 15 seconds.
And counting.
Only problem is, if you want it to be something to stick around after you end the video, comment it on your video because people cannot click on the comments after the stream's over.
Oh, this was purely for the purpose of this, and I seriously doubt anyone that watches this sometime in the future is really going to care.
What about frickin' flying toasters? I gotta download this. Crap, I can't find the link.
If it makes you feel any better, just go and do the Google thing and type
This
in
freaking
flying
site is
toast.
empty.
Type in after
fine.
dark flying toasters.
Well, I guarantee if somebody is interested, you'll get a comment like 6 months from now. WTF flying toaster?
Yes,
You'll log
flying
in, your notification
toaster.
will be like,
Oh god.
Here's
I'm
a
gonna make that my
here's another one, a better one.
dude, those
After-
toasters are flying, man.
After dark flying toaster.
I figured you would appreciate that of all people.
Oh gosh, this is amazing. I need this in my life.
Where did you post the comment?
No, there's an inflatable version of this toaster.
What?
Yes.
Where is this comment, guys?
This is the quality dream.
It should be in the
Where's this
chat.
been all my life?
Yeah, no,
There's
just
an
look up
inflatable
After
toaster?
Dark Flying Toaster and scroll down in images of it, and you'll see there's like a picture of like.
I must have missed the inflatable. I'm gonna have to look at that one. After dark.
It's not
flying-
even like an app. It's not like a screensaver. It's like a physical thing.
So, Henry,
Yes.
one thing I want to ask, and I don't think you've mentioned yet, what are your intentions for this streaming?
Shit.
Actually, that's a good question. I was going to get around to it, and I completely forgot. I got it. I just enjoy hanging out with you guys, but for me, I do want to get into some political discussion, current events, that kind of stuff on this channel. I will probably do the game streaming and stuff on a different channel. I haven't decided for sure.
Well, that would be a better idea, probably.
Well, it's very possible. Right now, as Cowboy knows, we actually have a clan that we've started on Warframe, and we're making our own website. We've got a dedicated domain for that, so we're creating a website and doing the whole clan thing, and we're going to upload gameplay and stuff from our exploits there. We're going to upload all that onto that channel.
Which
well
I want to
as-
give a shout out to Priority Pod and say thank you for helping us with that.
Yeah, you've done an amazing job, man. It's appreciated.
I'll take my payment of $1 million in checks of 100,000 every month. So
Well, can I have my payment in tacos, please? Every
Can I
Tuesday?
write out an IOU?
Taco.
I want some Bitcoin, please.
Dude, the last I heard, prostitution was illegal.
Depends on what
Oh,
alley.
Coin, don't make me cry.
Oh, that's true. So I would have a hard time paying you.
Oh yeah, Alex, I blame you for making graphics cards really expensive. It's probably your fault. That started happening right after you made that video on whether or not to invest in Bitcoin.
It became more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
you
though
can't
it was
find them.
Ethereum that-
But the thing is that regular graphics cards aren't good enough for Bitcoin mining anymore.
Yeah, no,
In the
they
last
got
couple of years, you started to need specialized hardware. You can't just because the graphics card I own is actually a Bitcoin mining card from a few years back.
an R9 or something.
Yeah, the R9 270X.
Yeah.
That
I
one
remember.
was-
I
was
remember
stopped
after
for a long
Bitcoin
time
dropped
because
down, you could
Bitcoin
get
miners
those
were
R9s
loving
dirt cheap.
Oh yeah. I got mine dirt cheap because I got it after the Bitcoin miners got onto it.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I do have some other plans for this channel to continue on that vein. I was looking on doing some collab work with Pod, and we haven't worked out the details yet, but we're wanting to do a series on the Constitution, from the Articles of Confederation, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, from beginning to end, and
That sounds
All the
really
good shit.
I studied criminal justice in college. I never actually graduated college, but I eventually plan to, maybe. But constitutional
Constitution.
constitutional law was a fascination for me, and
We could cover the Texas Constitution too. That's a pretty nice document.
we could. Yeah, that's a document I actually haven't looked at that much, which is odd because I live here in Texas and I should know it.
I read through it, and Texas actually guarantees a few rights that I wish were in our Constitution. I can't remember off the top of my head what they are. But read through it. The Texas Constitution is nice shit.
There's actually a group that call themselves the Republic of Texas. Card-carrying members. They refuse to get driver's licenses. They refuse to buy. They refuse to pay state taxes or anything. Well, we don't really have state taxes here, but there's quite a. They do not recognize the legal system in the state of Texas. Oddly enough, they somehow managed to survive here, and
call them hippies.
So they're like sovereign citizens, but for Texas instead of America as a whole.
yeah, and
Wow.
they
That-
now
that's double
most
crazy.
of them, from what I have seen, are a bunch of nut jobs.
Yeah.
But to each
Yeah,
their
sounds
own.
alright.
I mean, they may,
That's any sovereign.
nut jobs they may be, but they tend to hold the Texas Constitution up as the law of the land rather than the United States Constitution.
I posted the Texas Constitution, the link to it, in the comments.
Cool. I appreciate
we
that.
are.
Yeah, honestly though, you really should give it a read. Good stuff.
I
Does Texas
plan on.
also have an established Bill of Rights equivalency?
I believe
The
so.
Texas Constitution starts off with the Bill of Rights,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
Yes, it
It
does.
doesn't describe the role of government. It starts off with, here are your rights, citizen of Texas.
That's how it should be. I tell you right now, can any of you? I bet you can. Can any of you right now, off the top of your head, name Third Amendment?
The Third Amendment.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact wording, but it's the one where you
Township
can have
Act.
alcohol in your house.
The Township Act.
Wow.
I'm trying to remember. Give me a moment. Man, I used to know the Constitution forwards and backwards. Um,
You'd be surprised when people don't know the Third Amendment.
hang on.
That's our least controversial amendment.
That's the amendment that soldiers cannot. They can't claim quarter. No soldier shall claim quarter in the house. They can't.
Soldiers in time of peace be quartered in any house without consent of owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law.
I was on the right
Plus
track
another
before he
town
jumped in and
shut
decided to read it.
Yeah, see, I told you guys that's what it was. I didn't know the exact wording, but I know what it does.
Like I said, it was made by the Townshend Act.
It was made by who?
The Townshend Act.
Oh, the Townshend Act.
Yeah, Townshend.
Well, do you know the whole purpose of that, or at least why that was put into effect?
No, enlighten me. Well, I
During
just,
during the British British
Yeah,
rule.
they forced them to quarter.
Yeah, during British rule, the British soldiers could commandeer any home that they chose and quarter their soldiers there.
And you'd either be forced to leave or forced to accommodate for them.
Yep, and if you didn't, you were shot on sight or imprisoned.
Usually the latter.
Usually, but there were some extreme cases, as there always are. But yeah, it was because the Brits had done that so often, and the colonialists, the colonists, did not feel that that was correct. They didn't feel that was the right thing to do.
Can't blame them.
Yeah. So taxation without representation was not the only reason for the Revolutionary War.
Actually, one of the largest reasons that people commonly forget is that Britain wouldn't let them go over the Appalachians. It's actually a pretty big reason, much larger than a lot of people think it is.
Wouldn't let them go over the Appalachians?
Yeah, Britain had a
manifest
law that you
destiny,
couldn't pass
man.
over the Appalachians, and a lot of people wanted to go over because there was good hunting ground and all that crap.
My
Huh.
manifest destiny. So,
I've never
what do
even
you
heard
think
about
of the
that. That's-
future? What would you consider?
I hadn't heard about that one either.
You don't
Looking
even need,
over-
just look on a map of that area, you'll see how all the colonies kind of like cut off where the Appalachians start.
Makes sense.
What do you consider, as we go over the Texas Constitution, what do you think should be the future? What is the ideal future of Texas?
Who's that question for?
All of you, really. Like, what do you think Texas should become? What do you think is the ideal Texas?
A glass parking lot, or at least the entire western half.
Glass
There
parking
should
lot,
be
what?
more populous
At the very
states.
least, do you mind if I get to move out first?
Yeah.
I would
And
appreciate
you're free to
that.
leave Texas first, of course. I just hate West Texas.
You hate
Um,
West
Never got to
Texas?
see the side of the state, but I hate the west side.
for me, Texas and California share a few very distinct characteristics.
Yeah, all the Californians.
Well, I think all the Californians just moved to Austin. When they say keep Austin weird, they really mean it. The shared characteristics are that either one of those states could function if governed properly, could function separately as its own country. If either one
It'd be a
do,
struggle for California.
well, California's big problem is the liberals. But I mean, as far
that's exactly
as
what
far
I'm
as
saying, 'cause
resources,
if they become an independent state, you know what's going to happen.
yeah, it's
They're
going to be
gonna
running. It'll
increase
be
minimum wage. You're going to give all these welfare systems, and they're not going to have the money to fund those things.
hence
They're going to start collapsing. They're going to try to tax the rich. The rich are going to leave. They're not going to have any money, and they're just going to collapse into where.
which is exactly why I said if it was properly properly managed.
But it wouldn't be.
It comes down. Well, no, but I'm saying from a practical standpoint,
Yeah. Of course,
both states are in a geographically.
Under conservative governance.
Geographically speaking, the people issue aside, geographically speaking, are in really good locations. The amount of resources, natural resources available in both, the industrial resources available in both locations. Either state has enough to actually succeed on its own as its own country. It could secede and actually make it if it was managed properly. California has, I think it's got one of the biggest ports in the world. So trade and industry there. They also have a large amount of farming, agricultural areas that would work very well. Their science and technology has developed quite a bit over in those areas. I think it's very feasible that they could stand on their own as a country. Texas, likewise, we have, what is it, four of the main oil refineries for the region, or maybe more. We have, I know we've got at least two or three of the national oil reserves here. We have the largest military base, and if we ever seceded, I seriously doubt we'd want to give that back over to the United States government.
you guys are the largest? I thought Fort
You
Benning
would
was
have to
large.
figure out what to do
No,
with
Fort Benning isn't. Fort Hood. Fort Hood is the largest by landmass. So far
I always
as
thought
know.
it was either Benning or Brad. I guess.
I thought it would be Hood because that goes to, like, Porter, New Mexico.
Hood is the largest by.
I looked this up a couple of months ago because me and my wife were having a debate about that. Fort Hood is the largest. It's the largest by about 1,000 acres.
See, now I would think that Fort Gordon would be amongst the top, at least the top 10, because of all of the training areas and you can get up on one of the hills out there on Gordon, and you can look over the entire. You can't even see the end of the base. It goes so far. The training areas go back so far into places you can't see. It's not even funny. Benning.
Where is Fort Gordon?
Gordon is in Georgia. In fact, it's in Augusta, Georgia, where they hold the Masters every year. But but Texas has a large fishing industry. We've got oil.
Medicine.
Bless you. Medicine.
You guys have a fair technology industry out of Austin.
We do.
Yeah,
We do.
we
We
do.
actually have a lot.
So I mean, to be honest,
You
we've
don't
got
really compete with Silicon Valley, but you're not doing bad.
We have the technical. We have one of the international highways going to Texas.
a large portion of your experimental aircraft, both military and civilian, are constructed and tested here in Texas. In fact, I just found out the other day, I wasn't aware of it, but because I don't pay attention, but Midland International Airport is no longer Midland International Airport. It's Midland International Air and Spaceport.
Yep.
That's fancy sounding.
It's
They haven't
the
actually put
SpaceX
anything in
program.
space, but they have permission to put things in space.
This is going to be what's his name that's doing the SpaceX program or whatever it is.
Elon?
Yeah, Elon Musk. This is going to be the first. Midland is supposed to be the first or one of the first spaceports for that business as well.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be a what is it, Virgin Galactic? The billionaires pay us a lot of money and we put them in space for a few hours. I thought that's what Midland was supposed to.
Well, yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
From what I
Because I
understand,
remember looking into that when I left.
Matt Damon's already
What?
paid for his ticket. You know that? Matt Damon's already
Okay.
fully paid for his.
We'll get Matt Damon.
Huh?
It's Matt Damon. It's Matt Damon. We'll get Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Sorry.
Man,
World Police
Anyone-
But here's
reference.
the
Anyone-
thing, is that if Texas secedes, then you can't be like all proud of that movie.
Which movie?
Team America.
Daka 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 daka.
I love that movie though.
Yeah, but you can't be proud of it if you guys leave America.
I was never proud of the movie to start with. I just thought it was a funny movie.
I'm proud of the movie.
Exactly.
I'm proud of America because of that movie. Because we're the only ones who can have a movie made about us completely mocking the living shit out of us, and we just think it's the best movie ever.
Dude, that movie was all about the puppet sex. I don't care what
Either
anybody
something
says.
about our intelligence or not.
I lost some IQ points over that movie, and how many times I watched it.
Didn't we all?
But just remember, freedom costs $1.05.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the alternative media. So you see these departures, possible departures from the main tech firms in Silicon Valley. I think a lot of these might end up going to Texas over time.
I think that's a very
Going to Austin.
that's a very good possibility. The
Yeah, Austin is becoming like the alternative Silicon Valley.
now
Yeah.
the downside to that is that means a lot of Californians in Texas.
Yeah, but there are already a lot of Californians.
You
Texas
think
with
you
all
got
their
it bad? You should try the New Yorkers. Been like 4 million New Yorkers moved down to Florida. It is so bad.
You have
The
my
roads
dude.
are
You have my
terrible.
sympathy.
Can't drive. And then the worst part is New Yorkers come down here on vacation. They say, "Wow, Floridians are such bad drivers." No, we're not. It's just there's so many New Yorkers down here, and they're bad drivers.
Well, see, why they're bad drivers is because in New York everybody takes a taxi. Down in there, they're like, we don't know how to drive. They just gave us a license.
No,
That's why they're bad drivers.
The state of Texas has bred bad drivers from all the people that come there from other places, and now everyone just learned to drive bad.
That too.
I don't drive bad.
I don't think I've ever gotten so close to a car accident so many times than just the couple of months that I knew how to drive in Texas.
Okay, in North Carolina, I lived in North Carolina for quite some time, and over there, the favorite family pastime is dodge the pothole. Now, here in Odessa, it's dodge the oncoming vehicles.
Yes.
It's which is a bit more
That's not an
challenging.
exaggeration.
Huh?
I've actually almost been driven off the road by someone going the wrong way. I wasn't driving, but someone on our lane was driving right at us in the middle of the fog.
I drove the wrong way on the road once, and I didn't hit nothing. Because what happened was, I was turning out
Well, you
onto...
didn't hit us because we got off the road.
No, I was turning onto a 2-lane road, and both lanes went the same way, and I didn't know that, and there was no sign that said no right turns. So I went to go make a left turn to go into the right lane because I needed to go the other way.
Right.
So I started moving out because there was no cars coming, and then I saw a car all the way down there coming the way that I was turning onto. So I pulled along to the side of the road, waited for another gap, and then pulled back into the way I came in.
That's nothing. I NASCAR'd somebody off of the loop up in Midland.
Shake him loose and put him into the wall.
I really did. It was a 90s red Mustang, and I was on my way in from Greenwood, going into Midland. I was on the loop, and the son of a gun cut me off and slammed his brakes, and I had a truck with a grill guard, so I gassed it up, and I put my right freaking part of my bumper into the left part of his car. I spun him out off of the loop.
Hey, Pod.
Wow.
You do realize that here in Texas, as long as you're armed, you can fire at oncoming traffic if it's in your lane. All you have to do is yell, "It's coming right for us."
I had a kid over here. He's a college kid,
Well,
I
if I'd
guess.
done
But I was traveling down the road, and he was walking in the middle of the street. He turned around, saw me coming, and turned back around and continued walking down the middle of the street. So I gassed it. He had to jump to keep from getting hit. I have no sympathy for people like that. If you're going to be stupid enough to walk in the middle of the street knowing that there's oncoming traffic, then you become a target.
Oh, my friend almost ran somebody over last night.
I know Odessa has an issue. Henry, does Odessa still have an issue with suicide of the elderly? Before I left, like 8 old people died because they just parked in the middle of the railroad tracks.
Oh my god.
You know, I haven't heard about anything like that recently, but we have a good habit of covering stuff up like that here.
Just
Yeah, it
Hillary
was like
Clinton.
one a week was doing that, and they were like, another man in his 70s dead. He parked on the railroad track. We don't know why.
It's a proven fact, though, and you can ask my father, Henry, that once an elderly person breaks their hip, they have a 2-year life expectancy.
Yeah,
I give
no,
it 6
I'm
months.
aware of that. I'm
They all
aware of
rolled
that.
their hips, they hit a year and 99% and said, hey, I'm just going to park on the railroad tracks.
Oh.
Maybe
Oh,
they broke a
good.
hip. They wanted to end it quick.
Oh, I have too few shekels. The hip replacement.
Well, like I said, I will give
I
it
can't
6 months.
It's because they lost Bridge on Friday, and they just can't take it anymore after that.
Bingo did not pay out.
They woke up one day in a clear state of mind out of a long and unusually long state of an Alzheimeric fugue, and they realized that their life really sucked and they just couldn't bear to live that way anymore. And then they were driving on their way driving home. They forgot where they were going, so they decided to stop and ask the train conductor where they were.
You know, it's kind of upsetting to me because I've seen commercials that they're talking about, like, if you think a train can stop before were you on the tracks, and they go, it can, but you're going to have to wait
A
2
mile
miles.
away.
If that's such a big problem, that they have to make commercials for it, and there's actually like a whole, like I guess it's a non-profit to help people understand that trains can't stop.
There is a song for
Why do
this.
you need a non-profit? Trains can't stop on a dime. Oh, really?
No, I personally believe that there shouldn't be a non-profit at all. If you die on the railroad tracks, that's just natural selection doing its work.
Dude, don't even start preaching to me about natural selection. I've already said.
Wait. Now, hang on. You know what? This is getting towards the end of the stream. I think I'm gonna keep the stream going, but anyone that chooses to watch this, I seriously doubt they're gonna watch it all the way to the end anyway. So I think we can insert a couple of goodies here. We were discussing earlier. Who was it that was telling me that the mayor of Chicago issued a Trump ban? We were discussing what exactly the mayor was going to do if Trump showed up. What are you going to do? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that just by nature of his position, that Trump trumps the mayor.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you exactly what the mayor would do. The same thing Obama did. Nothing.
I honestly want to find this out because I had a question when I found out that. I wanted to know, has this ever happened in U.S. history that a mayor has banned the sitting president of the United States from entering their city? And also, I thought, well, that's really nice of him for banning him from the Afghanistan lookalike of Chicago. Because, you know, Trump's always at risk when going to Chicago. So I feel like he did him a real solid, you know?
I was kind of thinking that being that he is commander-in-chief of the United States Armed Forces, he could just declare martial law in Chicago because, you know, the murder rate is the highest in the country there, and nothing's getting done about it. Huh?
I think the military or somebody needs to step in and show them that we're just not going to sit around and let you go all,
Trump could declare a state. He could declare a state of national emergency for Chicago.
I think.
I mean, Trump literally has a property there.
Yeah, it's probably not worth much.
I think this would be perfect. I think that he should. The freaking taxes in that state so freaking bad that people have no choice but to leave, and then he buy it because he's a good businessman.
Iowa State.
He buys the
I
state of
still
Illinois.
suggest that you use eminent domain and declare Chicago a national park.
Oh, you better be glad Josh 200,000 or whatever his name's not on here because he'd be freaking out right now.
He could
Oh yeah, all Josh is a fanboy of national parks, dude. He loves them.
you know he could
He's also a Catholic priest boy toy, so I don't want to hear it.
Trump could relocate all of the citizens to a jail cell in some secluded
Where
place
they'd be
like
anyway.
Nigeria, and
Zumai.
Oh God.
and
Here we go. We're back to no comment, aren't we?
no,
Dang it.
my dude, I tell you what, we're gonna go ahead and end this stream and continue the conversation because this is just too much fun. Gentlemen,
Yeah, get Anthony with my no
It's about
comment.
to get real bad.
gentlemen, I really want to thank y'all for coming and supporting me on this.
Oh, absolutely not.
Y'all all gave me my start, and y'all have kind of encouraged me along the way. So I do appreciate coming in and hanging out with me for the last couple hours and doing this live stream with me. Alex and Priority Pod, they both helped me get OBS set up and working properly. For everybody else, I apologize. This was a bit of a Charlie Foxtrot. For any of y'all that are military, you know exactly what that is. Because I don't know what I'm doing. But I will learn, and I will eventually streamline this process. It will get better. So to everyone, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by and watching this at some later point in time. And we'll see you again on the next video.
And don't forget to prescribe to all of our channels.
Prescribe.
Yeah, there you go. Subscribe, prescribe, subscribe, ascribe.
Whatever it is. See there? Even more initiative
Especially
to
mine
join.
because I'm the most important person here.
If it has scribe in the name, you need to do that to each one of these guys' channels, unless you're scribing graffiti on their homepage.
Oh.
Don't do that. That's not cool.
Priority Pod's link in the description because it's actually not a link.
Uh-oh. It's not?
No.
I tell you what, I'll have to fix that. I'll fix that in the description. But anyway, guys.
Like anyone watch the stream anyway.
Yeah, I doubt it, but you never know. Anyway, I appreciate y'all joining me, folks that are watching. If you decide to, thank you for your time, and we'll continue this at another time.